And good morning, everybody. This is Grant from State of the Spark, and I am pumped for today's show because I want to absolutely help you get a breakthrough. I've heard several times now I've heard it a lot, but I've heard several times in the last few weeks. Hey, Grant, I'm sold on setting up my business, my coaching business, maybe you're a mission-minded entrepreneur. Maybe you're a life coach or a personal development coach or a social media coach, and you are ready for your systems, and you just stinking want to know how to set your systems up. We're going to do this today. If you saw us the show last Friday, you know that we were all about actually teaching you memorization tools we got from Jim Quick. I want to give you some practical tools. And of course, we want to talk about inspiration. We'll talk about all that fun stuff. Of course, we're going to talk about, good morning, Dan. I hope you're killing it this morning, sir. Hope you're doing fantastic. So we're actually going to talk about setting up our systems today. And this is going to be like practice. We're in fact skipping other news. Now, you guys know that I'm all about giving you resources. So first off, make sure you join the Facebook Goals and Gratitude group where we're actually going to carry on this conversation further. Now, I'm going to give you a sneak peek into a paid product that Spark has, and we're actually refining for re-release in 2021 called Spark Recharge. And that's coming, but you're going to get this because you watch this live. So share it with a friend. If you think you want to give our top secrets to people, share this with a friend or join us at the Facebook Goals and Gratitude group, boop, right there, and you'll get exposed to a lot of this. And then, of course, what I got right over here is this is actually a screen capture of what I'm going to show you in terms of how we set up our systems and when I'm doing coaching for small business, how we actually I see, where did you post from? Who just posted this? Checking in from Tennessee. I assume that's got to be Jessica Ojeda. She says, keep on keeping on, I think. It does. Your name doesn't come through, so you got to let me know. I think it's Jessica Ojeda. Let's see here. Not there. Oh, man, I don't know who just commented. I apologize. Your name didn't come through my feed, but I see just keep on keeping on driving back from Tennessee. So we're going to talk about MSPBA, and we're going to get this rocking. And MSPBA is the Spark Site's freedom framework on Dan. Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. For some reason, the name didn't come through on that one view. Okay, Dan's driving back from Tennessee, and Dan is a coach. Dan is a coach's coach. Dan has techniques that you have got to check out, 220.org, or let me make sure that's the right website, but you got to go check out Dan's work. He is empowering more people than I know, and he's got a swell of momentum. So if you want a good coaching resource, that's 220.org. Check it out. So today's for the biz systems is we were at breakfast yesterday, and our lovely Katie Stern Yates hopped on. And, we were at breakfast, and she said, man, I know I need to build out my systems. I'm just not sure how. And I said, okay, we've actually got to answer this. And it's going to seem so rudimentarily, is that even a word? Simple for you to set up your systems and get them delegated because, and here's what I'm starting today with. I'm starting with this one problem. You know, you ever hear a marketing problem, agitate, solve? Today, I'm going to actually deliver a problem and raise your hand and go, preach, preacher, if this resonates with you. If you are a coach or a trainer or a small business owner who is mission driven, you've just got a passion and a mission to help people. Chances are you want to get to that work because it makes such an impact in people's lives. If you are a mission driven entrepreneur and you do house cleaning like Katie Stern Yates, but she is mission driven, she wants to make sure that work is done so well. Or if you're a coach like Dan driving home from Tennessee right now, he knows he wants to help people be cured of PTSD. I don't know if he can claim that, but I can claim that. You want to help people. You're mission driven, so you want to do that work that makes the most impact in people's lives. Well, here's the downside. You're a business owner, my friend. And if you're anything like me, who has a coach passion and background, who has mission-driven businesses, your weakness, your kryptonite is systems. Dun, dun, dun. Your kryptonite is solid systems. And let me tell you something. If that resonates with you, tag a friend in the comments. If that resonates with you, share this with other people because we're going to crack this nut. Today, we're going to break open the high-level overview, but I am committing that we are going to share with you in our Facebook Lives for State of the Spark here in the Spark Show. I'm actually going to deliver MSPBA to you, and I'm actually going to deliver what our systems are. Lisa Welsh says, amen, preach, brother, preach. She said, I'm going, oh, Lord. That's something we've talked about in our coaching sessions with Lisa is how do we get more and more organized? Now, I'm not going to sit here and Mary Kondo you. That's not what this is all about. You've probably heard different ways to systematize this, that, and different pieces of software. I'll share you different pieces of software. Absolutely. But what I want you to know is our unique approach will go from A to B as quickly as possible. It will go from you recognizing the need to create a system and delegate it to delegating it as quickly and as efficiently as possible without getting bogged down in detail work. You need it just good enough. And our philosophy comes unabashedly from Michael Michalowicz seeded this philosophy in us with clockwork. We talk a lot about this book. I want to thank Adam and Brittany for pioneering so much of what State of the Spark is with this book. But we're not going to break that book open. We've actually taken their material. I emailed them and said, listen, your stuff is really good. I emailed the Michael Michalowicz Clockwork team, and I said, your guys' material is great. Here's my take on the material. Do you mind if I teach this? And they emailed me back and said, go for it. There's a lot of entrepreneurs, and with our niche of coaches and trainers and mission-driven entrepreneurs, our focus is for you, focusing on the work that matters. So before we get going, I did want to share very quickly. I wanted to share very quickly two things. Number one, something we always miss together, my friends, and that is a cup of gratitude. And I don't always have Dan on the show. I don't always have some of the people I see popping in. So I'm going to share a cup of gratitude. And what I'm grateful for is those two things. I am grateful for coaches out there. Coaches that have coached me, coaches that have coached me directly, coaches that have produced extraordinary content and coached me indirectly. Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, Stephen Covey. These guys changed my life. And then for the coaches out there who have actively spoken into my life, Terry Crews, Scott Parker, Bud Hollowell, so many of you, Derek Smith, a friend and peer, but someone who has deeply impacted my life. I'm so happy and grateful this morning for you. And this show today is dedicated to you for helping us shape our mission, igniting lives of explosive significance, helping individuals spark their vision and next success, explode significance, and radiate purpose. And we're going to reach 1 million people with that message so that they stay motivated and make a massive impact in the world. Imagine if you had 1 million motivated people out there changing the world. I know that you would absolutely create an entire generation of peace and idealism and progress if we could just help people a bit more. That's the mission of State of the Spark. Everything we do is around that. And today we're going to talk about MSPBA. So let me share with you real quick what a Zen master from 1230 AD had to say about gurus. And I'm sharing this because coaches and mission-driven entrepreneurs, you and I are so susceptible to finding a guru we love, listening to every podcast, reading every book, going through every piece of material, attending every live event. And lo and behold, we still are not where we need to be with our business systems. And we know that our passion work is being hamstrung because the business work is not being organized. Let me read this to you. This is from Dogen, basically a Zen monk in feudal Japan. Good morning, Robert. I hope you're doing fantastic this morning. In feudal Japan, he wrote this in a time when Zen Buddhism was really taking over Japan, and they would worship little effigies, little golden effigies of Buddha all the time, and they would think, man, I'm going to try to get enlightenment. So they would burn incense to their little Buddhas trying to get enlightenment. And Dogen said this. He said relics. He repositioned. He didn't just call them gurus or Buddha. He even repositioned it and said relics. Relics of a bygone era should be reverenced. Since they represent, in this case, Buddha, think of your guru. You should reverence the effigies of Tony Robbins, of Gary Vee, of Stephen Covey, relics, should be reverenced since it represents their image and their principles. It is wrong, however, to expect enlightenment just by worshiping them. He goes on to say, the true practice that affords the benefit of these teachings is disciplined work in Zazen. And what he is saying in my translation for us today is this: it's okay to revere Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, Stephen Covey. Pick your guru. It's okay for you to be reverenced as a coach, a trainer, a mission-driven entrepreneur. We've got bookshelves and bookshelves of Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Work Week, of Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. So much of this is important, but it means nothing if you and I are not doing the gritty work, the gritty, gut-wrenching work of building a business that is sustainable so that we can focus on the bigger message. Here we go. Let me give you one other from our oldie but goodie, Napoleon Hill, and then we're going to get right into the material. Napoleon Hill says, in the first part of Thinking and Growing Rich, you've learned so many steps, but the next step is the formation of definite, practical plans through which this transformation is made in your business and in your wealth. If you fail to carry out building a plan, you will expect to meet with failure. So confession time, my friends. I have been the worst planner and delegator I know. Thank God my wife is a detail-oriented person. And in my quest for solving this for myself, we found great material like Michael Michalowicz. He wants to make entrepreneurship simplified. That's their message. And Clockwork offers so much. He has a teaching called ACDC. We have modified this in the Spark ecosystem. So I want to get right into this and actually help you build your systems. So if you're like me, you're a coach, mission-driven entrepreneur, you wane in the area of organization, we're going to solve this today. And you should be able to act on this today. Here we go. It is called our Freedom Framework. And I'm going to tell you this. It's a tool that we're refining for relaunch in 2021 as a course. And you're benefiting just by being live on the next few days, if not weeks. But the nuances will come out in the course. And it is what we call Spark Recharge. The Freedom Framework is MSPBA, marketing, sales, production, bookkeeping, and admin. And if you think about it, clients, and I'll show you this. I'll share my screen here in just a quick second. I'll share my screen, so be patient. And I'll actually show you the structure of this. And the principle here is that a client, a potential client, engages with you and moves through your entire business through MSPBA. Some form of marketing they get exposed to, some form of sales or conversion they get exposed to. Then, of course, you're going to deliver your product or service. Chances are, if you're a coach or a business-driven or a mission-driven entrepreneur, most likely you're in the service industry of some kind. Of course, there's products out there, but most likely you're doing service in production. And then bookkeeping. Then the client will then move to bookkeeping, where you'll invoice them or collect from them in an abundant-minded way, and or collect from them if they're behind on their payment. And last but not least, admin. This is the area of business where, believe it or not, whether your clients know it or not, they actually will touch your business through the area of admin, because they'll be exposed to your huddles and the team quality and the mission of the business and how driven your people are. So they still touch admin in a variety of ways. We're going to cover a little bit of this. So the problem came when Katie Yates announced, Grant, I feel so lost when it comes to writing my systems. I know I need to. I'm sold on it. But how do I actually do this? Well, the first thing I'd say is this. You need to keep in mind, if you have the framework of MSPBA, then you need to remind yourself that the goal is to delegate as quickly as possible. Because if you're like us, chances are you're extroverted in some degree, you're people-oriented in some degree, and you're not as task-driven, you're more people-driven, and you want to get back to sowing vision, coaching their solutions. So when it comes to your systems, we need the shortest distance between here and delegatable systems. So the first is to have the framework. Now, this other point you need to carry. Chances are, of MSPBA, you are going to delegate marketing, maybe some sales, bookkeeping, and admin. Now, notice I skipped over production because if you're a coach or if you're a mission-driven entrepreneur, you will probably be doing a lot of the fulfillment of coaching. Dan's driving back from Tennessee. He was probably doing a coaching in Tennessee, if not a sales appointment. So that's why I said some of S and some of P, sales and production, will be delivered by you if you're a coach or a mission-driven entrepreneur. Now, hear me on this. You can get paid a lot of money for that. In fact, if anything, me speaking on the stage is one of the most leveraged things I've ever done in terms of dollars per hour. And when I do that, that affords weeks of what I've delegated in admin and delegated in bookkeeping and delegated in marketing. Weeks. I could get up and do a single speaking event. And in that single speaking event, I pay for probably 6 weeks of what I do in marketing, what I do in bookkeeping, and what I do in admin. Now, we have a ton of other production we do. And in the production, there's probably a lot more dollars for hours there. But as a coach, you need to get to this other work. So you're going to delegate marketing, some sales, not all sales, bookkeeping and admin, and you're going to probably do a lot of sales and a lot of production yourself. Now, Dan has a unique position. Dan is actually establishing a coaching philosophy, a movement for 22-0 and the type of training he does. And he's credentialing or certifying new coaches all the time. So his mission is radically catalyzing. But he still has to do the initial seed building. So he's still probably doing a lot of coaching and a lot of admin. So each business, you get the framework, and each business is a little bit differently. But if you can capture your systems or even delegate somebody to take your dictations and capture those systems with MSPBA, then you'll absolutely be able to leverage your mission more. So the first step in this is K in terms of the KISS system. Keep it simple, stupid. K is no MSPBA, and that's what we've done. The second one is institute MSPBA. So without further ado, as promised, let's get into the practical application. Here we go. What I'm showing you now in this screen right here, right here, is our Google Drive. And let's go up a level here. So our business, this is just for Spark Sites. We have several other companies, and let me actually make this the boss here. Boom. So we have several companies, as some of you might know. We have Spark Sites, Spark Training, Spark Explorer, and Spark Bookkeeping are all different companies. This is currently Spark Sites, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek. So if K is no MSPBA, and keep it simple, stupid, for an acronym, I is Institute MSPBA. You could do this in 15 minutes. Open up Google Drive, create a folder titled for the entity, department, or business you want to focus on. For us, it was Spark Sites. And give it these folders. There's only 5 folders. 01, M for marketing. 02, S for sales. Build these folders immediately. These are your new departments. And they're numbered like this, 01 through 5, because this is the order through which your clients move through your business. And it's the order in which you need to get your affairs in order. I don't care how much you're huddling each week at 05A for admin. That's where the huddles occur. I don't care how much you're huddling. If you don't have marketing, firing, and sales occurring, you're spinning your wheels. I don't care if you're sitting around with your QuickBooks, counting your pennies. If you don't have marketing going absolutely first, you're spinning your wheels. Only then do we talk about how to improve your sales systems. So let's start with this. Open up Google Drive, create these folders. If you're watching this later, pause this video, bookmark this video, share this video with a friend, bookmark it, tag them in the comments, bookmark it, and come back and pause this later and create these folders. And then what I want to show you is this. Once you've created the folders, click into marketing, and lo, what do we have here? Start a new Google Doc, boom, and start one called paid ads. Boom, right there, paid ads. Now, this is where nuance happens, but I am not going to tell you what system to build here yet. And once we roll out the full Spark recharge, we'll actually get into what to do here. And if you're already a Goals and Gratitude member, remember, folks, remember this. If you're already a Goals and Gratitude member, go in there and go under units. We actually cover how to do your first Facebook ad. So join the group, go get the video, and you should be all set. But let's get back to this. Create a Google Doc called Paid Ads. Create a Google Doc called Products or Services for Sale. And then create one. This says Spark Social Media Marketing Plan. That should probably for you just say Content Marketing. And then save it. The goal is we're going to come back around and fill these out. But for now, stick it in there as a placeholder. Come back out. Go to sales and just do one and call it the unsales process. The unsales system is the Spark Freedom Framework for sales. You guys are so petrified of sales. Now, if you're a coach or trainer, or if you're a mission-minded entrepreneur, chances are you're probably not too afraid of sitting down with somebody. But we got to know how to actually ask for the sale. And so the unsales process document here, the unsales process document is the Spark Freedom Framework approach to ensuring that you're not afraid of sales. And it's how we invert the equation of a sales appointment. We'll come back and fill that out later. Now, in our case, we also send a lot of quotes. And this is for Spark sites. We send a lot of quotes. So we have email templates for quotes. And then we have a customized statement of work. That's it. That's it. That's all you need. Don't fill these out right now. We'll come back. Go back to Spark Sites, go to production. Now, production, whoa, we got a lot going on here. Now, in production, I just want you to focus on creating a Google Doc and just call it fulfillment. We'll come back to that. And chances are you're going to spend most of your working on the business time refining fulfillment. Now, in Dan's case, again, he's growing by leaps and bounds. And so he's kind of got to be wearing a lot of hats at a lot of times. But most of you, you'll get these other areas, marketing, sales, bookkeeping, admin, just set up, and then you'll focus on production. Now, in Dan's case, he's probably got a lot of this set up or he's overlooking some of it for now selectively, and he's probably just focusing on marketing and production because you got to keep that marketing funnel going to keep everything else going, right? I guess cash flow is the lifeblood of the business. Now, in bookkeeping, all you need, now you notice I've got a collection document, an invoicing document, a profit first document, which is another Michael McCallowitz system, and a QuickBooks process. Just create these docs. You don't even have to put anything in them yet. Create the documents. Go back to Spark Sites, and then admin, or to your own business, and then admin. And then under admin, I have a huddles document. Basically, this is how your huddles, your daily and weekly huddles are structured. And then have quarterly and annual team meetings. And this is how you actually do a massive corporate realignment quarterly and a corporate realignment annually. And we're due for hours. And then benefits. So you can actually have a whole folder here called employees. And then there have job descriptions. You see, we've got a job description right here. And in there have benefits and how benefits are being strategized. Admin is where you're going to organize a lot of that. And again, we can come up with more nuanced folder structures. But if you are a coach and you've never been organized, if you are a small business owner and you've never been organized, if you create this folder system, this is your new business system. If you have a systems manual, organize it like this. And I'm going to show you ours in just a second. So before we actually dive in and create these systems, before we go in and create these systems, I want to actually just show you this construct. Now, you might have all you need and you should turn away right now and start filling this out. But let me show you how we evolved. First off, we were working in Basecamp for a long time. And you can see right here, sites marketing, sites sales, sites production, sites bookkeeping, sites admin. And then within each of these, here, let me actually back out here. Within each of these, we had to-dos, we had documents, we had automatic check-ins, we had a lot of conversation, we had sales estimating, all kinds of stuff in each of these. Now, we've since graduated. I'm going to show you what we graduated to, but let me actually also show you our systems manual. Boom. Let's see here. Systems manual. And this is migrating right now. Here we go. Systems manual. Here we go. Boom. And then we're actually going to go up to, oh, we're way off. So yeah, we've tucked away our systems manual. In short, what I was going to show you is that our systems manual is also outlined like this. In fact, this is the systems manual. Not only does it house our production conversations, like all of our client folders, it also houses and acts as our systems manual. So that's how we used to operate with Basecamp. But now I want to show you we're on ClickUp. And ClickUp, you can see we've got MSPBA. I'm not kidding about this freedom framework. We use this freedom framework. It's powerful. And just to give you an example, we've got these documents here in marketing, and these are our systems. Well, in ClickUp, we've actually got a whole paid ads area for our campaigns. And in paid ads, I've got a bulleted list. It's a bulleted list of the steps to take. Well, guess what? We've got a Kanban board, and each column here are the exact steps of that bullet. So I might come up with a paid campaign ad that's all about a certain topic. And in this column, it goes from here to concept, and we hammer out the concept, and we fill out the details about this concept. And then once that concept is ready, or once the date occurs, then we run the ad. As we're running the ad, then we review the ad. How well did it go? We collect a bunch of data in here. For example, how's the conversion rate? How's the audience? How's the budget? How's the cost per acquisition? You don't have to know any of that. That's all advanced stuff. You just need to see that whatever your bulleted steps are for a paid ad, we've actually set up, and this is what's known as a Kanban board. There's other views here we'll get into some other time, but I actually have this is the task for my ad. And every 15 days, this renews with a new one. This tool is called ClickUp, and we could even talk in another conversation about helping you build this out. But my point is the construct, the freedom framework of MSPBA. You've gone into marketing, you've created your documents, you've outlined, in this example, paid ads, and we've actually put this into our productivity software. I don't show this to you so that you necessarily say, okay, I'm going to build it exactly like this. I show this to show you the principle of how you can go from what amounts to a systems manual into actual editable systems. Here. So basically we've got K for KISS, keep it simple, stupid. K, no MSPBA. I, institute MSPBA. And we're instituting MSPBA right now with Google Drive. Google Drive, boom, right there. Now we're systematizing. Now I'm showing you how we're systematizing MSPBA. And for us, that systemization is happening in ClickUp. Now I want to pause here and take a breath. Katie Yates expressed a concern, and that was, Grant, I don't actually know how to build my systems. With this right here, you have systems. If Katie Yates, you were watching and you actually created a paid ad and you created the bulleted list of how that paid ad goes, you should be able to go hire a VA, a virtual assistant, or hire someone from Teresa O'Brien's helpers or somebody and pay them. I'd say this paid ad, my paid ad system right now takes about an hour every 2 weeks. So it's only 2 hours a month that I spend. So I should be able to hire someone for 2 hours a month, once every 2 weeks, to get this system up and running. And sidebar, if you're watching this right now, tag somebody, because we will cover these systems in the coming days and weeks. When I promise that on Facebook Lives for the next few days, if not weeks, we're going to go through MSPBA and I will actually show you my system. We're going to capture that for you. Share it with somebody, tag them, put it on your schedule, because we're going to cover this together. We'll actually show you those details later. But if you have this system up, this system is ready for you to actually pay someone 2 hours a month to execute it for you. And then there's a quality check process. If you can do that, you're ready. You can hang the phone up right now and go watch your favorite show. The rest is kind of some nuances of how we continue to set this up. For example, we really like setting this up in ClickUp because it has several views, list views for the detail-oriented person where you can see a list. And just to give you an idea, this is our production board, and we've got processes. Each one of these represents a process. So our content support represents process. Marissa, she's a detail-oriented person. She very much likes the list view. Grant is a visual person, so I like actually seeing the board view, and the board progresses. The task progresses from left to right based on where they're at and if that task is done. Similarly, in our marketing board, our campaigns do the same thing. So this is the S in systematize MSPBA. So you need to actually, before you hand this off to someone, you need at least one system in each of those folders in Google Docs, one document, and it could start as a Google Doc. So here's how you could take it one step further. So KDH, you might not have time to sit down and type everything out. Dan Jarvis is on the go all the time. He might not have time to sit down and type up everything for these systems. So here's the next level up. If writing the system out and writing your bulleted steps is 101, it's being a freshman in college. 202 is recording a video. So we ourselves will record a ton of YouTube videos and drop the link in these documents. Because sometimes it's easier. You're doing the work a lot. As a business owner, you're doing this work a lot, and you're in the middle of trying to hand this work off. So the next time someone asks you, hey, Grant, how do I edit a website? Or, hey, Adam from Spark Bookkeeping, how do I fill out this QuickBooks? Or in the case of paid ads, hey, Grant, how do I run this ad? Well, I'm actually going to run the ad. And I'm going to do Zoom and record a screen capture of me doing it, or I will actually just speak into the camera, or I'll record right here on the camera here and record it and save that link in YouTube and drop that link in the document so that you could possibly have this document say paid ads, and the only language in there is follow the video and a link to that YouTube video. That's it. I know that sounds silly, but it's not, because it's completely editable. Now, let me show you how this works here. In our marketing, and this is for instance of how video works. I've got our instructions right here. Watch this first. Video. I'm not joking. I take my own medicine on this. And if you click this video, it pops up and will actually play the video for the person I delegated this to. It's going to take a second to load because I'm doing this live. You can see it linked over here, but that's what this link is. I tell them, watch this video first. Create the graphic here. We'll cover this tomorrow or later if you want to target how to actually do a paid ad. And then here's how you start a Facebook ad in the Facebook Ad Manager. There's the link on where to go to actually use the tool, and there's the video instructions. I've done it once. I shouldn't ever have to coach someone again on this. And I should never have to record this again unless the system changes or unless we move to a new system for doing paid ads. So you should be able to delegate this right now. So in terms of the S for systematize MSPBA, capture and delegate your process. Fill out the bulleted list or record a video, upload it to YouTube and drop the link and call it a day. Then go delegate it and don't change that system again. Don't ask them to do anything outside the system until you've observed it for a few cycles. In this case, this ad runs every 2 weeks. I'm going to watch that play out for either a full quarter or a few weeks. And if I don't like how that's playing out, I'm going to change the ad copy, accelerate the cycle to weekly, slow the cycle to monthly. I'll change my system. And here's what we love about ClickUp. We used to meet for huddles daily. And then once a week in our huddle, we would ask, what's a 1% systems improvement we could do? And in that 1%er, we would change the system. We'd talk about it. We would edit the document. We go in and edit the document and change that particular system. But the reason I love ClickUp is once we do that and edit that in that particular system, then we can actually go into ClickUp and change the columns, change the repeatable tasks. We can actually make that change right here. And there's a ton of automations here that we do. So in terms of the S is systematize MSPBA, you have the system right here. Now there's one final step, and it's called standardize MSPBA. So a lot of you drop the ball. Raise your hand and tell me, preach, preacher, if this is accurate. A lot of you delegate something and you've had a lot of employees let you down. I want to hear an amen. I want to see your face in the comments. If you've had a lot of employees let you down. I know I have. I know I've had a lot of employees drop the ball on quality. Sorry. Boom. Drop the ball on quality. So the last S in MSPBA is standardize MSPBA. So within each of your documents, there should be one critical, let me see here, where did it go? There should be one critical component in each of your documents. Each of your documents should have a quality check. Now, to prove that this is true, in production, we have a whole column in our content marketing. Right here, quality check. If you can see my mouse moving, that's our column for quality check. You're sneak peeking all the tasks we have open right now. All the stuff where that's in review, all the stuff we're working on, but we have one column for quality check. If you're doing the document version of this, every single one of your documents, the last button or the second to last button should be a quality check. And it should say clearly for the person you're delegating this to, how do we know this is done? What are the bullet points that describe done here? And that quality check is called standardized MSPBA. So you have KISS as an acronym. Keep it simple, stupid also stands for no MSPBA, institute MSPBA, systematize MSPBA, and standardize MSPBA. And I am telling you, if you have done this, if you've watched this video later and paused it and just executed this, you should be ready to delegate this thing today. So we'll talk about delegating successfully. That will be part of the MSPBA dialogue, is how to actually delegate this thing. But you should be out there and ready to hand this off to a volunteer. Now, the volunteer might flake. Okay, now you know. And when they flake out and they have an exit conversation, you need to ask them, hey, what went wrong? And maybe they would say, we weren't sure what to do. Dust off the document, record a new video. Or maybe they'd say, your expectations of quality weren't clear. Clarify the quality standardizations, modify the system, but you have a stake in the ground on the systems for your business. Now, Lisa's been doing this for herself, and she'll testify on her own the difference this has made. We do this in each of our entities. This right now, we're doing as just the show, but Spark Training has this, Spark Sites has this, Spark Explore has this. And once this is set up, it's going to balloon into all the systems of your business. Now, I'll end with this and I'll let you guys go. For the coming days, strap in. In the coming days, put your belt on, because we are going to actually diving into the systems of MSPBA and our recommended tools. We're actually going to be making this as practical as possible. Yes, I'm going to still be doing other news. Yes, we're going to be doing inspirational moments, but we have got to cover the most practical foundation for your business. And we call this recharge. Your business needs to be recharged. Your business needs life breathed into it. Your business needs to grow, and you need to be able, listen, Katie Yates, if I may talk a little bit about Katie for a second. Katie is an amazing human being. She has overcome so much. And she came to me a few months ago, and confessed, I might be getting out of business. Lisa says, oh, my business actually makes sense to me now, and I can hire helpers, and I know what I need from them. And thank you, Lisa. This is a testimony from Lisa. And what's more than that, even if Lisa discovers that there's gaps in her business, even if she discovers that she's not exactly sure what to ask of a helper, because MSPBA is in place, she can improve MSPBA for the next employee or for the next helper, unemotionally improve her system. She has that available to her now because she has MSPBA. So what I'm telling you is this. Going forward, we're going to go into M for marketing and what our systems are and what the top 3, hopefully 5 systems you have for every business. We're going to do the same thing for sales. We're going to give you the top 3 to 5 things you should absolutely be doing for sales. I'm going to share with you my unsales system. I get paid for my awesome daily rate to do one-on-one coaching for unsales, to do basically as my sales coaching. I'm going to deliver that in these lives. So share it with a friend. Good morning, Daryl. I hope you're freaking crushing it today, man. So we're going to be actually covering the practical tools going forward every day. And Daryl, if you're just now checking in, I can't tell if you're just now jumping in or not, but play this video back, because we actually show you how to set up the MSPBA structure in your business to get organized and to delegate well. I won't recover it now, but go back and watch the video, or we can do a session later. But know that, folks, check in, because we're going to be covering M for marketing, S for sales, P for production, B for bookkeeping, and A for admin, and the top systems you absolutely need. And just so you know what I'm talking about, I'm actually going to go through ours, but if you have any clue about this, you know that, here we go, let me share it, boom. we're actually going to go through what is the minimum 3 systems you need in marketing plus my 2 extra. What's the minimum 1 system you need in sales plus the 2 extra? And I'll actually show you what mine are. So I hope this has been helpful to you in terms of initiating the organization of your business. Play this video back if you're just now jumping in, or if you're jumping in later. Pause the video in the moments you need, build out the system, but I want to hear your delegation stories. Now, I know, Grant, my business is different. Grant, my business is unique. I feel you. I hear you. We can get into those nuances, but if your problem has been that you have been disorganized and as such, you cannot delegate successfully, the reason I was sharing Katie Yates' story is this. I was convicted about this from Katie Yates' story about my own business. The next level up for us as entrepreneurs is to become better business delegators, to become better managers. Yes, we're great at our skill. Yes, we're motivating and inspiring to audiences. Yes, we're awesome to our coaching clients. But let's be real. We're not the best managers in the world. Now, eventually we'll hire an office manager. We'll hire COOs. But to get to that hump, to get over that hump to that goal, we've got to be better at being business managers and delegators. And this is our shortest distance between 2 points. Listen, I'm going to have a coffee with the love of my life, Marissa. I love you guys. If you need help and support, visit us at stateofthespark.com. Visit us at the Goals and Gratitude group, where we will carry this conversation forward. We'll get into the nuances. The units are there. Go visit the Goals and Gratitude group and join the units. And please, for the love of God, if you know someone struggling, share this show with them, share this group with them, share resources that can make an impact in people's lives. And that helps us accomplish our mission, helping 1 million people ignite their lives of explosive significance so that we have a worldwide global movement of peace, progressiveness, and idealism and abundance. Thank you so much. Have a killer day. Share these resources with someone who knows it, who needs it. And remember the mission, your mission, igniting your own life of explosive significance. Have a great day.